Happy Thursday evening for everybody. It's great to be with you. It's been a while since we've done a live here um, for several reasons, but obviously it's because we're fighting so hard and spending so much time trying to help these campaigns, trying to defeat these proposals, to keep not only everybody organized, but to bring together all the groups, organizations, grassroots people, and be able to battle. As we used to say, it might be a 30 front war. It seems more like a 300 front war today in what it is that we're facing. I've got some exciting news for you that I want to share. And then you're going to be hearing a lot more from us or from me in the very near future. And I'm going to share some information about the proposals as well. But it is really important that you share the information that we're going to, again, share with you today. Saying hello to everybody. Let me know where you're from. Just drop in where you're watching from. I can see which device you're on. I can see if it's Facebook or if it's YouTube. We have about five or six different platforms, I think five right now that we're live on, six actually. Um, but it is show shadow banned on these particular platforms. It's why we go live on locals before, because they are tied in. If you want to join, please go to Stand Up Michigan. Go to locals.com, Stand Up Michigan. I think I might even have that banner here. I'm going to see if I can drop that in here. Yep. It is standupmichigan.locals.com, and sign up and join our locals. It's $3 a month for support, but we are going to be able to communicate with you there regardless of what happens, because no one can touch us here. We also have our Rumble. We'll upload our videos from there, and we will do that after this particular time. But I did want you to see, at least in the beginning, how you can join us on locals, because we can talk about some things over there that we really can't talk about here. And we simply do not want to continue to worry about whether we're being censored or how they're censoring us. We want to communicate directly with you and have free speech for you. And so I'm going to talk freely because I don't care what they do to us in here anymore. I'm going to be honest with you about what's happening and what's at stake. What we have witnessed over the last month or 6 weeks, and many of you have talked about, where is this campaign or where is that, and they don't have the money, and why aren't people donating, and the people you blamed before for donating and they donated the wrong person, now you're wondering why they're not donating, and it just goes on and on. Honestly, the bottom line is nationwide is conservative candidates, Republican candidates simply are being outraised and outspent by liberal progressive organizations, by the left, all over America. I don't care which race you look at, they are being literally crushed, sometimes 15 or 20 to 1. And most of their money comes from outside their area. It doesn't come from their own vicinity or area. It's like looking at the governor's race right now. $23 million spent to identify and label our Tudor Dixon as being a too extreme on abortion and blah, blah, blah. It goes on, and $23 million. And yet the latest Trafalgar poll shows her within 6%. Now it's actually 5.8. So let's go there. All of this is good news. It means that the anti-Whitmer vote is high. You'll also notice something about Whitmer. You have not seen her. The media talks about her every day. The Detroit News posts articles about her every day, puts her behind a podium and beautiful pictures of her smiling, and everywhere she's giving out money, your money, money that the Republican legislature handed her on a silver platter so she could take credit for. And I am disgusted with that. And I am disgusted with them, and they need to be held accountable. That is about leadership, people. No reason to have spent this extra $1 billion that they earmarked, which is for a bunch of pork barrel spending. But most importantly, it gave her on a silver platter, not even her, the media, to make her look good. Oh, the big investment in education. Oh, the big investment in corporations and battery plants. And oh, she's just spreading it around like candy. She's just waiting for the next opportunity to shut you down because you are not essential enough. And she's already working on what she's going to do to you and to your children. And believe me, if you think this is over, if you think that this is a lull that is there, it is simply because she believes if she goes in hiding, she's going to win. And I'm telling you, we're not going to allow that to happen, but it's only going to happen if you get involved. And so, how do you get involved? How do you get in touch with the campaigns? How do you see them? How do you get signs and literature and information on these proposals? Well, we decided what we're going to do is take action. And so we have worked with other grassroots organizations and group and have created a bus tour. That bus tour, as you probably read in the description, is called Empowering Families and Protecting Children 2022 bus tour. And it is being kicked off this next Tuesday in Grand Rapids, Michigan at Oak Hill Presbyterian Church, the same place as our normal Stand Up Michigan meetings are, but it is going to be a bus tour. It's in the parking lot. It's going to be at 4 p.m. 4 p.m. to 5:30. You're going to see it everywhere. Everyone's going to be sharing the graphics of this because this is the only set stop now. We were actually delaying the full kick in of the tour until the beginning of next week. Guess why? Because there was a debate scheduled between Tudor Dixon and Whitmer. And guess what happened? Whitmer canceled the debate. Yeah. Guess why she canceled the debate? She does not want to be even asked questions by the friendly media. She does not want to give Tudor Dixon an opportunity to stick up for you, to share the stories that have happened to you, to stick up for your children and your families. She doesn't want to hear that. She doesn't want to hear about inflation and gas prices and food prices and what she did to cause that in Michigan. So she's going to stay in her basement. She's going to only invitation-only events, still raising money, by the way, because she does not want to answer any questions. And the media, like I said, just look at it. MLive, all of the freaking disastrous media is plastering her and wonderful stories. And of course, polls that show her up by 16 and 17. BS. Write it down. BS. Just wait and see. But they would like to demoralize you. That's what they'd like to do. So this bus tour is going to bring together, or have the ability to bring together, guest speakers who are going to specifically come in and talk about their campaigns. Who is included? Well, let's just talk about Tuesday. Got a list right here. So Tuesday, Tudor Dixon is going to be there on Tuesday. She's going to be joining a lot of the stops on this bus tour. It's a way for you to get to see her, listen to her. If you saw her at Iron Pig, if you want to go back, go to her website, by the way. If you want to know what she's doing, go to TudorDixon.com or Tudor Dixon for Governor, or whatever it is. There's a bunch of social media places. Take a look at the crowd from Marlena Bistro yesterday. Not only were they full capacity on the inside, but over 200 people that couldn't get in the building, so she had to do 2 events just to talk to the people who showed up. That is the energy that we have. Don't let the left tell you anything different. So Tudor Dixon is going to be there. In addition, we're going to have Congressman John Gibbs, who's running, is going to be a guest speaker as well. Ambassador Pete Hoekstra is going to be there to talk to us about the Biden administration, talk to us about nationalizing this election. Believe me, everything they are trying to do to you at a federal level, the postcard and perfect example of what they want to do at a state level is Governor Gretchen Whitmer and Dana Nessel and Jocelyn Benson in regard to breaking the laws, weaponizing departments, in regard to election integrity and election issues, and in regards to being able to control every aspect of your life. Every single one of those things, Whitmer is a poster child for. The Biden administration and the media wants to separate her from what they're doing there. All you got to do is look at her holding hands. She didn't bother not hiding herself while she was holding hands walking through the auto show, did she? That's because she is absolutely in lockstep. She wants to be the president of the United States. Don't kid yourself. We can end that in about 4.5 weeks by defeating her here in Michigan. A lot of people around the country don't believe it can happen because they're listening to what's going on too. But there is funding that's coming the way of many of these campaigns. But let's move on. So we are going to have, again, Tudor Dixon. We're going to have John Gibbs. We're going to have Ambassador Pete Hoekstra. Justin Barkley from Wood Radio is going to be there to welcome and open things up for us. He's helping out with this tour everywhere that he can. We're going to have Scott Tillman there, who's National Term Limits talk on Proposal 1. Jeff Litton, who helped with Secure My Vote, is going to talk about Proposal 2. We're going to have Pastor Ralph Rebant, who's going to talk about returning biblical principles and Judeo-Christian principles as the founding fathers wanted into our government and into our running our states, because that is going to be important. I will be speaking there as well. Tammy will be speaking, and we'll be talking about parental rights and issues. We're going to be identifying. So if you are one of those out there who have run and been elected as a precinct delegate, we want you to come. We want to identify you. We want to recognize you. We want to show the people the thousands of people that have run for these offices that have already been elected, as well as those that are running for local school boards, that we're going to take back one community at a time. We want to identify all of you running for county commission. They're going to take back these county commissions, because no matter what happens in Lansing or what happens in Washington, D.C., if the representative group that runs your local government is conservative minded and protects your individual rights and liberties and follows the Constitution, guess what happens? Then we can turn down anything that is sent from Lansing that is against those rights and liberties. But what happened and what has happened over the last couple of decades is that too many of us have stood on the sidelines while liberals have run under the veiled identity of being Republican because they can't get elected any way else. And they have served in these school boards. They are teachers. They are union people. They are progressives who have been serving for decades. We can win these school board elections, but guess what? They need your help. They need your help talking to the people in your household. They need you to talk to people in your neighborhood, talking to people at the water cooler, the gas station, the cafe, at the football stadium, the soccer field, or wherever you happen to go. If we do that and we turn out the vote, we win, hands down. 750,000 of us that voted in 16 did not vote in 18. That's when we elected this three-headed monster. That's when we elected or passed the promote the vote that put us in the positions we're in now. And if these proposals pass, it will be the same as the federalizing of the elections that happened with Proposal 2. Will do the same thing. It will also destroy everything that you did in getting the 500,000+ signatures for Secure My Vote, which, by the way, will become law in early 2023 because it doesn't need to go on a ballot. We're going to hold the House and the Senate. Another reason we have to vote. But once we do, we will get our signatures validated. We will take those this proposal, put it before the legislature. It will become law, and this will be the law of the land for the 2024 elections. Hallelujah. But if Promote the Vote, Proposal 2 passes, it will wipe that entirely off the board. It will deny us ever having to show photo ID. It will approve Zuckerbucks into our Constitution that can be targeted to only Democratic districts, not spread out to make it easier for everyone to vote, only those they want to vote. Ballot harvesting will be pretty much legalized with this. No ability to hold audits, can only be conducted by state officials. Citizens will be cut out, which, by the way, breaks the law that is on the books today. All of these things will happen, as well as 9 days of early voting. And I'm doing 9 days of early voting, I mean in person. Your poll will be open for 9 days, and every clerk you know in every community will be strapped with the cost associated with 9 days of running an election. Just all the more reason for them to understand who voted, who didn't vote, and who they've got to bust there. It is important that we defeat Proposal 2. But we want to talk about this tour because we are bringing together, again, many of the campaigns. They will have an opportunity as they will be vendors. So they will be able to hand out their literature, have people there to answer questions, sign you up to help knock doors, do texting campaigns, do phone call campaigns for those that need help in these difficult districts. It will help you identify those list of people that are running for your school board or your county commission down ballot. We're going to talk about your state school board candidates. We're going to talk about the Supreme Court candidates you need to vote for. All of those things will be discussed. But most importantly, we're going to talk about empowering families and protecting children. And you know why? Because it worked in Virginia. It is one of the most important things that matter to people today. And we want to forget somehow about what happened in 2020. And I cannot believe that so many of us are standing aside because we feel like we've gotten back to our normal lives. And you have not. It is a lull right now. They have weaponized departments. We are shadow banned here. They do not want you to have free speech. They want to call everything you say as disinformation. That will only get worse if these people are reelected or if these proposals were to succeed. We will also become the most pro-abortion state in the entire nation. And I do not want that on my head. I don't want it on my heart. And this has nothing to do, for those of you that are out there that are listening, that are pro-choice, I respect your opinion of what you feel you need to do personally. I don't agree with you, but I'm telling you this is your own choice. This proposal has nothing to do with your choice. It has everything to do with your ability to have the right to be able to make the decisions for your own children. What happened in Virginia? Terry McAuliffe, who was very well known, a one-term person just like Whitmer, made a simple statement that parents should not have any say as to what is taught to their kids when they are dropped off at school. That alone defeated him. They have gone so far beyond that now with this transgenderism, with this stuff in school, with girls' sports, with not notifying you of what is happening to your own child in school, with telling you when you can or can't mask your children, vaccinate your child, whatever it might be. I'm sharing this with you because you need to understand this is about consent. This is about you taking the responsibility for what God gave you, which is the right and the responsibility to protect your children. Parents, grandparents, families, these are family decisions. When something comes up and there's a crisis in your family, it needs to be discussed in your family, with your family, not kept from your family. I want to read something to you because many of you believe that this is happening somewhere else. It's happening in California. Yeah, it's happening, but it's not really happening in our schools. It's not really happening in our health departments right now. First of all, Proposal 3, it will happen everywhere, and you will have no parental rights from the age of 12. You want me to prove it to you? I'm going to prove it to you right now. You ready for this? This was put out by Spectrum. For those of you that might work for Spectrum, I'm sure you can go and find it. I'll be posting this as well. This is the reason for the tour. Are you ready? If you do not have the hair standing up on your arms, a chill going up your back of fear and anger when I finish this, then you need to go back and watch Jeopardy or whatever it is that you think you're doing. Because this is our time. This is our only opportunity to change the trajectory of our state, and I believe our country. Dear parents and guardians, Spectrum Health is committed to providing you and your child with the highest quality and most compassionate care. Because of this, we are alerting you to coming change to your child's MyChart account. Under Michigan law, I have yet to find the law, but I am believing they're going to talk about Proposal 3 maybe. I don't even know, but I've got to call in to Great Lakes Justice Center, and he'll be on to talk about it. Your child will have new health care rights and privileges when they become an adolescent at the age of 12. And again, when they become an adult at the age of 18. Age 12. Are you ready? When your child turns 12, access to their MyChart account will be reduced. This will be impact MyChart access in the following ways. You, the parent or guardian, will still have access to their MyChart account. However, your access will be reduced starting on their 12th birthday. At their next visit, clinicians will explain your adolescent's rights and privileges when it comes to their health records, including how they will have the ability to access those records separate from you as parents. Did you get the chill? Is your hair standing up on end? It's now, people. 12 years old. You don't have access, but guess who has access to these? Those healthcare professionals, those Planned Parenthood people, those counselors in the school. As defined in number 3, it does not even need to be a doctor, but not you as a parent. How about an example here? Your 12-year-old, 13, 14-year-old gets in trouble. She doesn't want to talk to you as a parent. She's afraid. But your neighbor, who's a friend of hers, you decide to talk to her mother. Guess what? Her mother can take your daughter in and get an abortion. Not only is it legal, but you don't get to know about it. They can also talk to the school counselor who can take them to Planned Parenthood, can provide them with sterilization, gender reassignment, rename them, provide them with blockers, hormone blockers. All of these things can be done. They can even assign them names in school that you're not able to look at or see. It isn't about taking your kids, and yes, I'd take my kids out if this was ever to be in our public school, and it's going to be everywhere. It's in your insurance company. Spectrum's the largest there is. Do you think this is just Spectrum? Check it out. They have been a part of this farce in regard to what has happened to us. They have denied the truth. They haven't shared truthful information. They haven't given you the ability to make your own choice for you or your family or your children. They have blocked what has actually happened to them along the way. And now we are at a crossroads. Our crossroads are continue to complain about what's happening or get yourself involved in this next 4 to 5 weeks. Let's start by coming and bringing your American flags. Let your voices be heard. We are going to spread this not only through social media, through all of your social accounts. We're going to put it on our website where we do not have any censoring. We're going to post this as well. I'm going to push this up here so that you know. We are going to push this up here as far as the tour goes at choosefreedomusa.com. It's where you went at one point to also get some of the information on some other things that happen. We'll post all the stops here. We'll be posting video clips here. We'll also be putting them up on our Rumble. But I wanted you to be able to see these. And obviously, again, we mentioned the stand-up Michigan at locals.com. So I'm going to go ahead and hide both of these. I just want you to be aware and to know how important it is as we start this Empowering Family and Protecting Children 2022 bus tour, that if we do not rise up right now, Michigan will become the catalyst for every other state in the nation going forward. Forget Roe versus Wade. This is a whole lot worse. And they are pretending that it isn't what it is. Every faith-based leader, you need to get in front of your church. We have got great assets, and we're going to provide those to you in digital form. If you are not on our email list, you need to be. Go to standupmichigan.com. Just simply sign up. By the way, you won't need a password any longer. When you go to log in, it'll just send you a link, and you can log in because it's secure. We don't sell or provide your information to anybody, but it is important for you to come there and get information as we start to share these videos and this information. It will be truthful information based on what is happening and what isn't happening. Get rid of the local news. Turn off that regular television. They are just lying to you. It's time for you to pay attention to the truth and be a part of the solution in your own community, because if indeed you get to your church, your group, whoever it is that you associate with, you need to make sure that every single one of them vote. You need to make sure they understand about these proposals. And Proposal 3 printed 50,000 yard signs. Those are going to be all over Michigan and available. And I guarantee you at the stop, somebody representing those will have hundreds of signs at every stop. We want 50,000 yards to have those signs for No on 3 to be there. And let's save lives going forward. They want to deny when a heartbeat of a child is. I can tell you from even being involved in horses for 20 years and breeding horses that two things happen when you breed a horse. At day about 12 or 13 or 14, you can do an ultrasound and see if the embryo is actually attached and it looks as if you have a pregnancy. Guess what the next thing they do is at 30 days. By the way, it's a 27, 28 days, but 30 days is guaranteed. It is called a heartbeat check. Guess what you get? You can get a video of that heartbeat check. Their gestation time is 11 months. The heartbeat's at 30 days. When do you think it is at a human? When do you think the viability is? It's viable the minute it's conceived and there's a heartbeat. And it is important that we understand that. And we do not allow the lies to be perpetrated any longer about when human life is. And God, by the way, chose you before you were conceived. It's another matter, but I have to tell you, if you're a Christian, you better stand up for this, because I don't want to answer for this. I don't want to be responsible because I didn't tell you or talk to you or share with you what I believe is the truth. This is me. You can watch me, you can turn me off, you can share me or not, but I'm going to tell you the truth as I believe it and as I see it. Many people who came to America and came here as empowering their own families, protecting their children from communism and socialism all over the world, provide them a better opportunity than they had. We have the ability to provide that for your children and your grandchildren going forward. We have the ability to do that. We also have the ability to put our heads in the sand and let happen whatever's going to happen. And then my question is, and it's been asked by many that have come here and are now American citizens and left other places to come to an opportunity, a land of freedom, the ability to pursue life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. America, freedom of religion, supposed to be freedom of speech, doesn't exist anymore. And these people say, where do we go if America falls? Where do we go? I'm asking you that question because America is falling. We are the majority. We need to act like it. We need to speak it. We need to claim it. We need to proclaim it. We need to spread the word. You know what? Like we said in 2020, we need to stand up and we need to show up. In these next 4 weeks, we need to show up everywhere and spread the word, build the energy, understand we will, we can, and we will win. But we will not win unless we vote. We will not win unless you talk to others, not after the fact, but before, and say, most midterm elections, we're not voting. Do you want 4 more years of this? If they can answer that they like gas prices and food prices and inflation and 7 or 8% interest rates for homes, if they like that, continue right on down that path. If they want an opportunity to change that trajectory, it starts on November the 8th. I'm going to see if there are any additional comments anybody has. So this bus tour is going to kick off. We will be posting additional locations and dates and times specifically for the week of the 17th, once we get to the end of this week. And then at least 1 week in advance, we'll be telling you what region we're coming, what stops we'll be making, and where they will be so that you can plan to attend and you can get a lot of other people to attend. We want to make these look like we are the majority that we are, not allow us to be defined by the local media, not to make you be demoralized as if you are a minority because you're not. I ask you all right now to share this video because the truth of what I read to you from Spectrum should shock everyone and should demand. But guess what? It won't matter what you demand, because if you vote for Proposal 3 or it passes, it will be enshrined in our Constitution forever. We cannot allow that to happen. I appreciate each and every one of you. Appreciate you joining me here at Shadowbanned as we are. If you search, you can find it. If you share it on your social media profile, if you email this to your friends, if you're on an email list, you'll get a copy of this from our downloaded version on Rumble so they can't touch it and they can't affect it. Everybody have a great evening, and we're going to see you on Tuesday. Show up about 3:30-ish. Speakers are going to start at 4 o'clock. There'll be refreshments after and everything you need in order to be successful and help us deliver victory on November 8th. Have a great evening, everybody.